Welcome to a live stream. My name is Toby.
My name is Heidi, and this is Crypto Tips.
It is Crypto Tips. You probably already know that. Boy, what a capitulation we had. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of longs getting absolutely obliterated. And then on the way up, there was a lot of shorts getting obliterated too, because I think a lot of people were going short. But a lot of people picked up some pretty good deals. Now, is this the end of that capitulation, or is this the end of the downtrend? I'm going to go over this really quickly before we begin. I'm going to read this off. Okay, so since bottoming in the depths of 2018 depression, Bitcoin has seen this oversold only 4 times at 3,000. At $10,000, at $4,000, and at $30,000. Okay, so not long after these records were achieved, Bitcoin rallied 340%, 17%, 1,585%, and 141%. So it's incredibly oversold right now. Let me just go over this before we completely get into this. Okay.
Yep.
So, all right. 2017. I'm going to go over the percentages of the drops of 2017, 2018. All right. So the first one was a 38.07% drop. The next one was at a 34.58% drop. The next one was 41.36% drop.
These are like every month or every 2 months?
It's spread out. But, 41.36% drop. That's very similar to what we just had, because $40,000 drop would have been, a 40% drop would have been at 40,000, I think. So I could be off a little bit, but that's very similar to that. Okay, so the next one was 40.56% drop. And then the next one was 30.9% drop. And each time I see Heidi's Twitter handle like, hey, I'm buying the dip. I'm buying the dip. I'm buying the dip. People are just giving her so much crap. And it's funny just because it's dollar cost averaging on the way down. We don't have to worry about temporary price movements like this. Okay, it doesn't bother any of us. It might bother other people that are over leveraged or don't understand this space or don't understand Bitcoin, but it doesn't bother us because we've been in this space for so long. This is just normal. It's people are claiming we're going to go to $10,000, like Richard Hurt thinks we're going to go to $10,000. I'm like, oh, I don't think so. Nice guy. I disagree with that. I don't think it's going to happen. Anyways.
Well, I'll get really quick. Archer Bullseye had a really good fun fact here in the chat, in the live chat. Shout out to everyone in the live chat. Thank you for tuning in. Fun fact, to start out the live stream, in the past 24 hours, 109,593 traders were liquidated. The largest single liquidation order happened on BitMEX, like it always does. XBT USD value 5.95 million. One guy got liquidated for 5.95 million. And that's definitely what's accounting for the fast drops is the leverage traders.
Yeah. So this is why we don't do leverage trades. We've never done that. I guess if people want to are just starting out and they want to try to catch up or whatever, fine. But just know that most traders don't consistently make money. So if you're trying to leverage your position, you're going to get liquidated eventually, and hopefully it's not a huge part of your portfolio.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Fear and Greed Index is actually a really interesting and important tool for those of you who are wondering, the overall sentiment of cryptocurrencies in general with the markets. For those of you who are swing traders, it's a really excellent tool. Looking at what was happening in crypto in April and May, the volume that we were seeing at that level, we didn't see it in November. We haven't seen that amount of volume since. So the volume is dropping off. That usually leads to lower prices, but the fact that we saw an all-time high in November, early November, $69,000. The volume that took us to 69 wasn't as high as what took us to the other previous all-time high in April and May. So I think we have a lot. I think, like Toby, it's like what we're always saying, shaking out the weak hands. And the title of this live stream, Importance of Bitcoin Capitulation. You might not know it yet, but you probably will like Bitcoin capitulation because it's a healthy shakeout. It's an easy way to find local bottoms and the price points where when you're dangling that low of a price on Bitcoin, who cannot wait to buy it? An example of this, one of the Canada's Bitcoin mining farms, Bitfarms, they invested in 1,000 Bitcoin. They paid $43 million for that, buying that dip. Also, if you're looking at on-chain analytics of what the whales are doing, what the wallets that are holding the most amount of cryptocurrency, a lot of volume is happening on these wallets, but the volume isn't exiting this wallets. It's entering it. Even though the value in terms of US dollars is dropping of those wallets, they're of the coins, the value of the US dollar of the coins that are being stored in the wallet, the value of those wallets are going up because they're accumulating more and more and more than, even more so than the price is dropping. So
well, a good fact is that the most profitable wallets out there are the ones for people that have either died or lost their keys.
Yeah.
Those are the most profitable wallets. That's why we tell people, hey, we're dollar cost averaging. I don't care about the price.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like,
and there's some people, we had one CT Club member ask a good question. They said, Bitcoin's narrative is that it's a hedge against inflation. Well, it's dropped like 35%. So how is that better than inflation? Again, you have to keep in mind your time frames. Yeah. Over the past 5 years, Bitcoin has increased 4,300%. That's much better than what the US dollar has done in the past 5 years, especially lately. So
not even steel or anything's been up, or lumber or anything. And not even close.
That is the benefit of having a long-term perspective, of understanding why cryptocurrency exists. That is what is going to help give you guys some diamond hands.
Exactly. And I hear a lot of people talking about interest rates, like, what are interest rates going to do? What about the Fed? Let's hear about the Fed minutes. Let's see what they're going to say or whatever. Guys, I don't have a crystal ball. I already know what's going to happen. I know for a fact what's going to happen. They're never going to raise interest rates in any meaningful way for the rest of your lives. All right? That's it. That's as clear as day. I've been saying that for years now, and they have never done that, even though people are freaking out all the time. Oh, what's the Fed going to do? They're going to raise interest rates. Really? What? A quarter of a point? That's not raising interest rates, by the way. That is not. That's such a lie. So raising interest rates would be like 10 points. Yeah,
that's
do
significantly.
Volcker. Look up Volcker and see how much he raised interest rates. Yeah, look what happened to the currency at that point.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna slightly change the subject to surfing. For those of you who are new to this channel, welcome to Crypto Tips. Like we said, my name's Heidi, but this most importantly, this is Toby. He's a big wave surfer. Serious cojones on this guy. That's what everyone says. And I don't know if it hit world news or whatever, but like Saturday here was incredible surf. I posted some videos on my Instagram. If you guys can check out all of our social medias are down below in the video description. But guys, I'm going to do some editing here, and we're going to show you guys some waves from Saturday. Are you ready? And
these will be the biggest waves you've ever seen in your life,
whether you realize it or not.
On camera or TV or YouTube,
breaking waves,
matter.
Yeah, for sure.
These are the biggest waves.
And then we'll take your questions either related to surfing or crypto, whatever you want. After this, so here's some couple of 20-second clips.
Commentary on this?
I think so.
Okay.
I think we'll still have
Hopefully
audio.
We can.
Okay.
So right here.
Little guys, it's two people on a jet ski.
Wow.
Yeah, this is an amazing set. So huge. It was so far out to sea.
Wow, wow,
And I was
wow.
on top of the lighthouse. Good area for the spotters. Oh, I got so excited I dropped my phone there. Here, I'll play it again. If I can. Oh, I don't know how to play it again. Here we go. This is amazing. And it was so hectic. I don't think anyone surfed. It was too far outside.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Physically paddle into these waves. I made my wave, but my partner couldn't get me. And I was hanging on like Superman with 2 arms on the sled, and I had to let go because I just didn't have the strength. And I look back after I let go, and I just see this 70-foot wall of explosion coming at me, and I just it took me to depths I've never been before. And yeah, it's pretty wild. It was very violent, but the thing is, like, I'm able to calm down so much. I'm like, when I want to go to sleep, that's how I put my body into like that mode, sleep mode, so I can relax so much that it's almost like I'm trying to fall asleep underwater. And that's how you survive a wave like this, because if you try to fight it, you're gonna die. And we have these huge vests on us as well, and this wave was trying to rip my vest off. That's how violent it was, and I kept going like under. On a huge wave, you have underwater falls. Like you have a waterfall, but imagine a waterfall underwater.
Just like currents that push you even deeper.
Yeah, it's the swishing of the waves, and especially when waves are like 70, 80 foot, 90 foot, that's when you get to experience something like that. It's like hardly anybody in the world's ever experienced it. So it's really hard to explain to you.
Yeah.
But on another note, I am writing a book called The Art of the Wipeout. And it's the
putting on a lot of practice for that one.
Yeah, so the ugly truth about surfing Nazare. So it's going to be really great. I'm really excited about this book. But anyways, that's what I have to share.
We got some good questions about surfing too.
Okay.
Thank you guys for sending in your questions.
And then I'm going to get into the capitulation stuff afterwards. So
yeah, someone was asking, what are the size of those waves that we were just showing?
70, 80 foot.
Did you surf those?
Yes.
He did.
It
was amazing. I think it was I was jumping up and down probably almost every wave Toby was getting. It was amazing. And just to also speak about the teamwork of the two partners.
And Heidi, who's on the radio on the cliff.
Yeah, but you guys were working really well together. So for me, on the radio and also being married to the guy who's getting tossed around in the waves, a lot of peace of mind with that. It also helps when you see Toby go like this, and I'm like, okay, he's okay. Another
Sergio,
yeah, we got it. Sorry, if you guys were hearing some feedback, I put our phones on airplane mode. Sorry about that.
Cool.
Let's see, where are some other ones?
Have you ever
which muscles do you use more while surfing, abs or legs?
Well, legs while you're going on the wave, and then abs and back. Like you have to tense up when you're getting hit by a wave.
Like you brace.
If you've fallen or whatever, you have to brace really hard just until the wave hits you, and then you can relax. But if you don't relax before that, or if you relax before it hits you, then you can break your neck. You can literally rip your limbs apart. And that's like really gnarly. Like I've almost broke my leg out there because I didn't curl up in a ball, and it shook me so hard.
That's right.
That's
your
the scariest part
messed
here.
Up for a while.
Yeah, it's the scariest part here is actually not drowning aspect. Like I can handle myself underwater. I can hold my breath for 4.5 minutes, whatever. But when it comes down to the shaking, that's the thing that gets me, that gets everyone.
That's the capitulation hitting you.
Yeah, that's when you got to stay strong and mentally strong.
Yeah.
And yeah,
That's also why you work out a lot.
yeah, I work out every single day.
Yeah. Old Fart, good name and good question. Have you ever hit the bottom of the ocean?
Never out here.
Not here. It's
really
too deep here.
It's really deep. If you're hitting the bottom out here, something's really wrong.
Or there's a big rock that you found.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately.
So.
Let's see. Another couple of questions. I know. 1 second.
Any world records?
yeah.
Potentially.
Not yet. Nothing announced yet.
Potentially. I think there might have been, but we'll see. It was really big. So, yeah, I don't know.
David Lynn, show us more like this again sometime. We will. Don't worry.
Let me just say,
Yeah.
world records here. If you know the Guinness Book of World Records. So, whether people will like it or not, it's a paid gig. So you're paying money to get into the Guinness Book of World Records. Very political.
Yeah.
So it's what you see in the Guinness Book is not really, it might not be a world record. It's just because somebody has more political pull than others. So it's a good little.
Brendan asks, dude, that's awesome. You ever surf with Jamie O'Brien or Gravy? I surf Sebastian, Florida. Our waves are like ripples compared to your waves.
No, I've never seen Jamie O'Brien or
You surfed
Ben
with him in
Gravy.
Hawaii.
Yeah, Hawaii Pipeline, but never surfed with normally.
Please, your take on Solana long-term 5 years.
I like this. Like surfing and crypto
Yeah,
for sure.
keep us on our toes.
Solana is going to be really interesting because it's so cheap, so fun to use, and it's incredibly fast. And if you're like a high-frequency trader, you can do, for $10 you can do 1 million transactions. And I think it's going to be even more. The more more that proof of history evolves. So a proof of history is what the blockchain goes off after. So it actually saves time rather than proof of stake and proof of work. But it's also very untested. For instance, Solana network was down, I think, like 16 hours, right?
It's been down a few times, I think, even since then.
Yeah, but keep in mind that when Solana went down, it was doing 400,000 transactions a second. Guys, Ethereum only does 15 transactions a second, so
it doesn't go down. There's lots of arguments back and forth here.
I know, but think about it. But you're doing it from a fraction of a cent, so whatever. And also,
it's an experiment.
Also, one thing about Ethereum that I'm learning is,
Solana?
No, Uniswap. So if you're trying to use Uniswap while prices are going down, probably best not to do that because it's very hard to implement a trade, and you're wasting all of those gas fees as they're constantly being denied every single time. So say, for instance, gas fees are $200 at $150. And it doesn't go through. Well, you just lost that $150. And and if it's going down and people are capitulating, you're going to keep losing money on the way down. So that's a little trick, is to not use Uniswap while prices are going down.
Super volatile.
Or not try to sell or whatever. So, yeah. So anyways, just had to share that little nugget. I was actually thinking about that in the water today. And just thinking, wow, that's something I can really talk about because that's really important. And I think people it'll encourage people to think ahead and to dollar cost average out if they're using Ethereum.
We had a question here from Ryan O'Loughlin. Question, what prevents all these financial systems from just creating their own stablecoin? They're trying to.
They are.
They would love to.
Yeah.
Called central bank digital currencies.
CBDC.
And they can't just do it all quick because they are suffocating themselves with the regulations imposed upon them that they're trying to hand down to the cryptocurrency space. The reason why cryptocurrency was able to exist at all and to flourish so quickly is that it's an open source community, free market, and decentralized. very important concepts of what is the building blocks of cryptocurrency. That's why they're able to be so innovative. They don't have to ask permission. They don't have to report anything to anyone, and it is what it is. It's all open source. It's all completely free to be audited, and many projects are audited and are secure. That's definitely improved. That's, I think, the best improvement we've seen in crypto in the past 2 years is the DeFi security getting beefed up. A lot of lessons were learned. A lot of hacks happened to have those lessons learned, but this is the fruits of that.
That's the best thing that's happened in the last 5 years.
DeFi didn't really start taking off till 2019.
I mean,
we were 3 years.
No. It was because we had BISC and you know.
That's a decentralized exchange. It's not lending.
Okay. Yeah.
Terry Buckna, sorry. Thank you so much for the super chat. He says Toby needs to sell surf apparel, the disobedient surfer.
That's one thing I never, ever, ever, ever want to do is have anything monetarily to do with surfing.
No, if it's your own, if it's your own apparel, maybe we can sell it on learningcrypto.com.
Maybe.
Hey, if there's any artists out there, you want to send us some fan art, send us a disobedient surfer sketch. That would be cool.
Yeah.
That could be a t-shirt.
That would be pretty cool.
Or like a mug or something.
All right. First off, Nick, I can't believe I missed those waves.
You're in Mexico, right? I think I saw that in the comments before.
Okay.
How's Mexico?
So Cage asks, Heidi, do you worry about each time he's in the water?
Probably a little bit, especially, I mean, because for those of you who've been following this channel for at least 6 months, you know that we were in Indonesia for quite some time. And there it's a different ball game. It's barreling waves, it's heavy lips, and it's really shallow water with
very dangerous waves.
Sharp reef underneath. Yeah. So that's a different kind of worry. We have massive amounts of water on your head. We have jet skis driving all over the place, could run you over. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a mess every time. I'm definitely confident in his team and the people that he surfs with and Toby's own ability. But we're not so airheaded enough to know that, that Toby is, what's the word?
I don't know.
Like you can't die.
Yeah, I'm not immortal.
Immortal.
All right. So
anyway,
Sam Rosenberg asks, "What do you think of Hex and Pulse?" Okay, so my thoughts on Hex and Pulse.
We should probably do a video just on this.
There's
always someone asking.
Richard has God complex. I really like the guy. I met him. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's a completely different person, I guess, off camera. Okay. So respect to that guy. I don't think he would want any of his projects going down. Also, I think Richard owns a lot of Hex to the point of, he can help the price of Hex. And then, we did end up investing in Pulse. So we're still waiting for that to come out. I invested in the first tier, which was every day there was a different tier for like what it was, a couple weeks or something like that. And that was when we were in Indonesia, and I'm like, I think this is good. So I made a call in the CT club. I'm like, all right, I ended up buying some Pulse because first off, people make fun of Hex and they're like, oh, it's centralized scam, but whatever. Guys, whatever you feel about it, it's like that's money to be made. Like I remember meeting Richard in Malta several years ago when Hex was under a cent, and ended up picking a little bit up. Didn't think much of it, and geez, it went up like crazy. So I am bullish on probably both. So and as far as the fundamentals, that's completely different. Okay. So, but what I'm going off of is somebody's God complex, and the reason that's probably the main reason. It actually makes me feel more comfortable knowing that he actually probably owns a lot of the coins. And I know that sounds crazy. We did not put a lot of money in there.
And indulging your capitalistic state of mind there.
Exactly. So I'm playing 3D chess right there.
Question from Chunk Wobbler. Why do you use those little boards instead of the classic big guns for big waves?
That is my favorite thing about tow surfing. So the reason why we have such small boards in tow surfing is because we don't need to get into the waves. The jet ski does it for us. Yeah. So really,
paddle surfers need big boards to get into big waves.
Yes.
The boards, when they're really big, they're really floaty, so it's much easier to paddle faster on that board.
Yeah, but we
and
don't
you need that speed to get on the wave. Once you're on the wave, you don't need to have a very big board.
Don't need a board. So we have literally a 5'8" tow board out there.
And how heavy is it?
It weighs about from 9 to 11 kilos.
And
so
how many foot straps do you have on it?
I have 2 foot straps, one for the back, and they're weighted. They're weighted with lead because the waves are so big here. They go so fast that it's literally impossible to surf a wave here without foot straps, without your feet being into the straps. Because a lot of the times, like yesterday and today, and the day before, I was flying in the air halfway down the wave. I was in the air. I was flying like a bird, trying to land it, and that weight really helps, and the straps really help, and so yeah.
Jim K is asking, will your book be kid friendly? No woke crap.
Absolutely. I think you're gonna love it. Absolutely. I am not woke. I'm asleep.
Johnny Boy is asking, do you think we can go as low as 44K? Well, we hit 37 today, so
you mean
yes.
34K? I think we could. I think we could capitulate for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know how low we are going to go. Nobody knows how low we are going to go. There's a lot of some of the bigger Twitter accounts that I follow that have been dead wrong, and so that's just one of the things. Like, you don't know how low it's going to go, but it doesn't matter. You don't need to know how low we are going to go. All you have to understand is where Bitcoin is going to be in the long-term future. If your goal is just to make a bunch of money in the next 1 or 2 months, well, that's your deal. That's not my ideal way of doing things. Getting rich quick isn't the thing to do. I've been working at this for 9 years. And
it's kind of like, if you need a similar analogy, it's like doing a fad diet versus a lifestyle change. Thinking long-term, what is sustainable for you? What is more stress-free? And it's habit building versus eating a cucumber and cayenne pepper and whatever else is the crazy diet of the decade.
Yeah.
So long-term mindset, long-term results.
When you start selling by the end of the bull run, will you just sell everything? No, I'm not. First off, Bitcoin is the only asset class in the world that no matter how much pent up demand Bitcoin has, no matter how much people want it, no matter how many corporations decide to buy Bitcoin, there can only be 21 million. They can't go ahead and print it. For instance, gold. If there was if gold was in the spotlight, everybody wanted to buy gold. Well, they could just mine some more gold. Go for it. Who cares? All gold miners have the ability to find a mother lode. They can go into space and mine asteroids if they wanted to, if they really wanted to go nuts. So, but Bitcoin is inelastic supply, has an inelastic supply. So yeah, I'm going to hold something that has an inelastic supply. I'm not going to trade all of my inelastic supply for something that has an elastic supply. Why would I do that? That's financial suicide right there, because you don't know when the dollar is going to implode. They did 40% of all U.S. currency was printed in the last 9 months. That's dangerous. That's playing with some bad stuff. I can't say it on
with fire.
Yeah, fire. There you go.
You can say that.
Did you want to?
Yeah, we got some super chats we want to address really quick, and then I'll get to your other questions. Thank you so much, Dakota Prairie, for that super chat. And also Avery Kyle. Thank you. You guys are amazing.
Guys. Awesome.
Someone was asking our opinion on Anchor Protocol, the security of it. The best way to get a heads up on the security of any DeFi platform, I just posted a link in the live chat here, is to DeFiYield.app/audit-database. And from there's a search bar. You can type in the platform that you want to see. And a lot of them, if they've been audited, they are listed there, and you can actually read the report. And a lot of these reports are pretty easy. They usually have a summary right at the beginning, and they show you right away some of the red flags, if they're critical, if they're just informational red flags. So you can check out for yourself Anchor Protocol and any other ones you might be curious as well.
Foxwhite has a great one. 4 million Bitcoin is lost.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So maybe you guys don't know, maybe you're new to this space, but Bitcoin has 21 million Bitcoin that could ever be available for people. But there has been about 3 to 4, maybe even 5 million Bitcoin that are off the market forever. And I'm not even talking about Satoshi's coins. I think he has like 1 or 2 million coins. I'm talking about people that have lost their hard drives, that people have,
they've been mining.
mining. Yeah. I remember back in 2000.
On all the thumb drives. Imagine all the thumb drives that had Bitcoin
Exactly.
and people lost it or forgot about it.
Exactly.
Threw it away.
Yeah. So yeah, there's not a lot of Bitcoin out there. So imagine, there's 60 million millionaires out there trying to fight for 14 million Bitcoin that will ever be available for purchase from here on out. So yeah, there's going to be a big fight. There's going to be, like I said, I don't care about these stupid price dips at all. It's meaningless. Like, you have to understand where this is heading. This space is heading. We've been calling this, like I've been calling this since 2016, since you started this show. So like we know where this is heading. Yeah. And there's no stress at all. Anyways, I can go on about that.
Toby, what age were you when you caught your first wave?
I think I was like 8
or
9.
How big was it?
It was very small. It was probably like 3 feet.
Were you on what board were you on?
I forgot. I think it was like a 6 for my neighbor, cutting the grass and picking weeds out. And
yeah, he gave you a
for
surfboard?
like 2 years, and I got a board. Yeah.
2 years.
About 2 years.
Toby, it's all in your blood.
I know.
You worked for 2 years to get your first surfboard
and a wetsuit. So.
And then you worked for however long on Uber to get your Bitcoin.
Yeah. So
set for life.
Almost 2 or 3 years.
Toby's origin stories.
Yeah. So, anyways, is that it?
Let's see. Okay. Thank you everyone for tuning in the live stream. And as soon as I say this sentence, Toby's going to find another question to answer, which is great. Maybe we can find one more for the end.
Somebody asked, is this the end of the bull market? No.
We don't believe so.
I don't think so.
No.
I'm betting, literally betting on it, that this isn't the end of the bull market. And there's a lot of people freaking out, a lot of big money freaking out. Actually, we forgot to go over this.
Here you go.
So, okay, I'm going to read over some of these really quick. Bitcoin long liquidation dominance has hit actually, it's probably 70 or 80, 70.
It's from Glassnode.
Yeah, Glassnode has hit 69%, the highest level since the May 2021 deleveraging event. This means that the majority of liquidations in future markets over recent weeks were long traders attempting to catch the knife. So people are getting really hurt. I think these are leverage traders. Okay. Also, Bitcoin, the RSI has been this low only 2 other times in the last 2 years.
That means it's oversold. Very
much oversold. Okay, we had one near the COVID crash, one near in the summer, and now here. For you gut gold bugs out there, Bitcoin went up more yesterday. It was up 0.35%.
Which is on January 8th.
0.35%. More yesterday than gold has in the last 10 years. I think the highest it went up in one day was...
no, it went down. Over the last 10 years, gold has went down 0.25%.
Yep. So really interesting.
Lots of stats out there.
Yeah, a lot of fun stats. But anyways, that's what I wanted to talk about today. And yeah, good to see you guys. And that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Please check us out on our CT Club to get trade alerts and portfolio updates. Thank you guys for the super chats. We really appreciate it. And my mic is always going all over the place. I don't know what to do with it anymore.
That's okay.
And Dan Cryptid, how do you define the end of the bull market? I think when I see a blow off top.
The opposite of capitulation.
Yeah. When you see what is happening right now, but on the top, I think that's pretty much the reverse. And that's when you kind of want to start dollar cost averaging out. Anyways.
Thank you everyone. We'll see you again.
Good seeing you guys. And
next week, Monday, noon Eastern time, we should be back to the regular schedule. Anyway, we'll see you again next week. Putting out videos every day. Hit subscribe, hit the like button, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye, guys.